I think. Okay, I think we're live. Let me just check. We gotta see. Oh yeah, there we go. Awesome. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna drop my camera down a bit. How are you? Good morning. Hope Savara here. And we're talking about sleep today. I believe it's day 23. That means that you have been traveling with us for nearly 30 days on this amazing journey. And this week is all about sleep. And I thought, okay, what can I talk about today? What can we cover? How can we start to get a hold of our sleep? I never really thought about it as a kid, but my sister and I shared a room. She'd ask my mom for a glass of water. My mom would go to the bathroom, get water, come back. She'd already be asleep. Me, I was a clock watcher. I'd look at the clock. 10 minutes would roll by. 30 minutes would roll by, an hour would roll by, and I would still be awake. And as I'm an adult now, I kind of am everywhere with my sleep. I sometimes am not a great sleeper, and sometimes I struggle falling asleep, and sometimes I fall asleep right away. And so for many of us, I think our sleep can be different depending on what time and what phase of our life we're in, and some environmental factors, but there are things that we can do, things that I have found, things I've learned about, things I've found other people have had successful with, that we can do to better prepare ourselves for sleep, better to stay asleep, and better to have a better quality night's rest sleep. And there's some things I believe that we can control and some things that we maybe can't control. Let's find something that we can do today to have a greater win in the sleep category. So to help you all, I thought it would be a little bit more helpful if we would, let me see if I can do this. I made a little PowerPoint, so give me a second here. Let's see if I can pop this open and share this with you all. Okay, just 1 second, because that'll keep me on track and that'll keep you on track, and that will help make sense of everything. Okay, so if you have trouble sleeping, I want you to drop it in the comment section of this life. We have a comment section for life. Wouldn't that be something? And let me know in the comment section and drop the word sleep or some Z's or maybe a fun sleep emoji, and let me know if you struggle with sleep. So what is it that we need to do to better help ourselves sleep? So why do we need sleep? I'm a why person. I like to understand why I need something in order for me to better understand why I should change it, or why I should improve it, or why I should pay attention to it. So just like nutrition, just like movement, just like water, we also need sleep. And I read a fun fact, or rather a thought process a while back, and it said our body can kind of override the need to eat, that hunger feeling. But our body will literally shut us down much quicker and much more abruptly when we're not getting the quality sleep we need faster than what it would be that we need from nutrition. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So why do we need sleep? Our body needs to regenerate. Our system repairs and resets. So our bodies do the most healing, excuse me, while we're sleeping. When we're not getting sleep or not getting quality sleep, our body is not healing. It is not going into that phase and that place where our body can start to do what it needs to do without us having to know what it's doing. So pretty cool. Our brain resets, our brain heals, we separate. Our digestive system clears out. So sleep is a great time for our organs to go, okay, I need to reset myself. I need to calm down and relax. And that's why sometimes when you go to bed with a stomach ache and you don't wake up with anyone anymore, because your body has done what it needs to do. And our muscles rest. If you are getting muscle cramps, if you're getting leg cramps, if you're getting, just feeling fatigued, you may need sleep. Okay. When we are sleep deprived, this is a laundry list, but I wanted to include this and I thought it would be better on a slide because I want you to look at these because this is a really long list. And sometimes when we isolate something and we just look at the symptom, or we always just say, well, that's because of what I'm eating, or that's because of blank. We never ever really consider the idea that some of these things would be connected to sleep. So irritability, lack of focus, reduced vigilance, high risk of accidents, fatigue, memory lapses, delusional thinking, hallucinations, paranoia, heart disease, weight gain, diabetes, altered hormone production, temperature issues pertaining to the body, and lower immune function. So if you're not getting quality sleep, this is just a small handful of what the body can now not be doing optimally or is now experiencing as a result because we're not getting quality sleep. I sometimes feel like we as humans, we forget that we're not invincible. And there's only a matter of time, you know, eating crappy food makes us feel crappy. Not getting enough sleep, we spend a third of our life sleeping. Not getting enough sleep, quality sleep, is going to affect us, is going to affect the ability for our body to lose weight or hold on to weight. It is going to affect our body's ability to absorb nutrients. Did you know taking calcium and magnesium at night increases and optimizes absorption levels? So if you're not sleeping, that process can't happen. Sleep inhibitors. These are a couple of things that maybe you haven't thought about before when it comes to sleep. Having caffeine after 12 p.m. is not a good idea for your body. Even though you may not feel like it's keeping you up, all of the organs in your body, your brain, your muscles are now overstimulated. So we really want to look at that caffeine. That doesn't just mean coffee. Look at some of your other drinks that you're having. Sometimes even things like chocolate have caffeine. So look into that and make sure. Sugar also does the same thing. Are you a worrier? If you are a worrier, I definitely have that where it's like I overthink things. Having things like a journal or having time at night to talk to somebody, to vent, to get those things out, has shown signs, they have done studies on this, that your brain actually having a dumping point actually helps you sleep better. So if you're not dumping, you may find that you're taking that burden to bed with you. Naps last longer than 20 minutes, but less than 3 hours. So if you're a napper, I know for some of you that are team driving, maybe you feel more like you're taking naps. There is a window where naps do more harm than good. So if your nap lasts longer, it's like 20 to 30 minutes. So you have to kind of gauge that, but it has to be less than 2 to 3 hours. So we don't get into that next cycle of our sleep cycle. This is really important because it is going to keep us up at night. So having naps during the day isn't a bad thing, but we want to watch that. So it's kind of like if you've had children, it's like, should I leave my kids sleep? Should I not? And then when you leave them sleep too long, it's like they're up all night long. But if they have the right length nap, it doesn't affect them. Okay, electronics before bed. We've talked about this. You guys all know this. We're trying to get you with 20 minutes before bed, but it's not just before bed. It's also electronics throughout the day. We live on screens now. I know many of you, obviously you're driving, but then when we're not driving, we're on screens. So it's that blue light constantly depleting our melatonin levels. We really want to pay attention to that. There's orange glasses now. I actually just ordered the screens. It's like an orange thing I can put over my computer monitor because I wear glasses versus having to wear the glasses all the time. So there are things that you can do, dim your lights on your phone and just kind of set the tone for going to bed. Sleep apnea, which can be connected to a slew of health issues, but definitely looking at that. Dirty sheets, I thought this was so interesting. The smell of clean sheets actually can help induce better sleep and put you in the mood versus dirty sheets. The feeling of them, the smell of them, which I thought was pretty awesome. So just kind of a cool, fun fact. Reflux, harsh foods prior to bed. If you are eating and then you are going to bed right away, I know some of you drive through the night and then you eat something and you go to bed. I really want to encourage you to try to shift where you eat. Can you sleep for a few hours and then eat something? Having food sitting in your stomach while you are sleeping confuses your body. Your body doesn't know if it should be digesting and processing or if it should be using that energy to help you sleep. to help you reset. The body can't do both well at the same time. So regardless of when you drive, look at when you're eating and look at what you're eating. This can play a huge role into sleep. You might say, oh yeah, Hope, that doesn't affect me. The thing with sleep and how our body regenerates and restores and renews is we don't always feel what the body is doing during that time. So we may not know, but the ramifications of that are things that we're experiencing and maybe even normalizing or blaming on something else. Medications, alcohol, and then muscle aches and pains. All right, so I did a little his versus her sleep that I thought this might be fun. So men toss and turn at least one time a week when they sleep. Men's nightmares tend to be way more epic or dramatic or like in your face, whoa. When men don't get enough sleep, their cravings go up. I thought that was really fascinating. And men are more prone to teeth grinding than women are. And because of my background, if you're a teeth grinder, we want to look into things like hip flexor and psoas release, especially with long-term sitting, because teeth grinding is also connected to muscle tension. And you release that muscle tension, you stop grinding your teeth. So if grinding your teeth is keeping you up at night, hit me up for what you can do to help stretch your body out a little bit. All right, women, are they more prone to sleeplessness, tossing, turning? Our dreams get a lot more personal. Less, I love this is funny, less sleep makes us mad. So maybe the grumpy women in your life, or maybe you're a grumpy woman. Sometimes I know I am because I'm not getting enough sleep. And then also restless leg syndrome. If you find that you're waking up at night because your legs are just, it's like an achy feeling for some. And that can also be a mineral depletion. You're lacking minerals. That can also be something that's affecting that. Okay. I wanted to use this, and I can share this in the group, but this is a circadian rhythm little chart that I find that is very helpful. I use this when we talk about sleep and teach sleep in other things that I do. And so the thing with this natural rhythm of the body is we can't change this. So if you drive at night, if you sleep at kind of not typical times, we can't trick our body into thinking its rhythm is something other than it is. So we go to bed when the moon comes up. We wake up when the sun comes up. Our bodies are affected by the tides. Our bodies are affected by the moon. There's so many things our body's affected by that we can't change. So it's if we can understand, we can try to make the best out of a situation that we're in. So from midnight, okay, we have restorative sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. I'm going to talk about these in a second. And then 6 a.m. comes around, our melatonin release stops. So this is why we kind of naturally wake up around this point. And for those of you that think hitting the snooze button is helpful, I know many drivers that's not necessarily the case because you have deadlines you have to get to. But for some people, they think that that's helping them, but it's actually doing more harm than good. It's actually making you more tired, and it's making the next night's sleep even more difficult. If you can get outside, if you can get daylight, sunlight, and have that and be outside in fresh air, research has shown that that will help you fall asleep and stay asleep in the night to come. So you're driving all day, you get out of your truck, you go into the truck stop. Now we're not really hanging out inside the truck stop because of COVID. And then you go right back in your truck. You need outdoor time. You need sunlight time that's not filtered through a window. You need fresh air. Make sure you get that time for yourself. Make it work. Figure it out. I know that you can do that, but can you schedule in that time for yourself? It may help improve your sleep. We're usually the most alert between 10 and about 4. I'm losing my mouse here. And then we go all the way over to 6 p.m. and this is when we start dimming our lights. So this is why now phones have that like black mode. You can switch over to night mode. I know when I have my GPS on at night, it automatically flips the screen. And in part, that is also helping you mentally prepare for sleep. And then our melatonin starts to release. If you lack the ability to release melatonin, there has been research proving that electronics before bed reduces, inhibits, or stops the production of melatonin. If you aren't getting adequate sleep, your body doesn't know if it should produce melatonin. So definitely trying to find some sort of rhythm. If you're driving through the night, how can we make this work? How can we at least have downtime? How can we have low time? How can you drive safely with still recognizing and honoring that this is kind of like a quiet time for your body? So how can we make this work for you? Okay, our sleep clock. We have 5 stages of sleep. I'm not going to go into detail on this because there's a lot of information on this, and I'm not going to waste your time today. But there's 5 stages of sleep. The first 2, okay, the first 2 are short, between 70 and 100 minutes, okay? The next ones, the cycle 3 and 4, they last anywhere between 90 and 120 minutes, okay? And then we have the REM sleep, which is the 5th cycle. This is rapid eye movement. And so we go through this cycle. If we go through it 4 times, we're sleeping for about 6 hours. Now, ideally, most people need between 6 and 8 hours of sleep. So do the math, then that's 5 to 7 cycles. So do you need 9 hours? Do you need 8 hours? Do you need 6 hours? Typically, research shows that if you're getting less than 4 cycles, the quality of sleep that you're getting and the amount of sleep and the ability for your body to repair is reduced. So how can we improve that? All right, what to do? Can we look at our foods? What are you eating? If it's sugar, processed food, soda, coffee, all of these things combined, we tend to look at them individually because it's like, oh, I'm drinking coffee. Oh, I had Arby's. Oh, I had a bag of chips. But when we look at it all together, that's why a food journal can be really helpful. We can start to track how much of what we're putting in our body could in fact be affecting our sleep. Daily exercise. Now, I'm no expert, but for the last 20 years, working with thousands of people when it comes to movement, part of our body is expending energy. Part of our need to function healthy in this world is to expend energy. So when you go to bed at night, if you have not expended any energy, yes, you have on some level because you're just doing basic things during the day. You're driving, you're paying attention, you might be thinking, you might be talking, you might whatever, but we need physical exertion. We need to wring out what is in our body available for us. And if the cup is still a little full and we go to bed, it's going to be really hard for our bodies to wind down, our minds to wind down. I see this in myself. I see this in my kids, my husband, all the time. When I went from teaching a lot of yoga to reducing that, and now I spend a lot more time in my office, I really was starting to pay attention to this gauge, because the days that I wasn't going for a walk or I wasn't doing some sort of fitness routine, being more active outside, playing more with my kids, I found myself staying awake longer and not falling asleep as easy. But the days that I was more adamant about moving physically, I found that it was much easier to go to sleep and fall asleep faster. So you may need to start looking at, yes, you might be active in the time that you can be, but you might need to try to increase that even more. Have you downloaded our movement meditation that you can do while driving? So it's at least 45 minutes of movement that you're doing during the day, trying to exert yourself, trying to expend energy. Because if you're not expending it, it's just sitting there. And if it's just sitting there, it wants to be used. So can we make more efforts to utilize our body more fully so that we can optimize sleep? Go for a walk before bed. Park as far away as you can from the truck stop and have to walk in. A 15-minute walk, 15-minute back, whatever it is, that's 30 minutes. Can you walk around your truck? Can you exercise? Use resistance bands, do mother trucker yoga, whatever it is. I don't want excuses. We have to use the energy our body cultivates for us every single day. Wearing an eye mask. I have a weighted eye mask that I wear when my mind is really busy, when I am struggling falling asleep, and it really does help my mind relax because it kind of forces my eyes and my forehead tension to relax. It has a rubber band around it. Super helpful. You can get ones that smell like lavender, which might be helpful as well. Aromatherapy is also great. Meditation and breathing. Are you doing the meditations and the breathing exercises? You can't just do them once. Try to do them regularly. Try to prepare for them. If you're just driving and you know in a few hours you're gonna have to go to bed, start breathing, deep breathing. It's not gonna make you fall asleep at the wheel, but it is going to relax you and prepare your body. And by the way, we all need breathing to survive anyway, so it's never gonna hurt. Sleep headphones. Okay, so this is a hack that I discovered a few months ago, and it's been a game changer for me, and I really, really love it. And it's a sleep headband for meditations or music. And obviously you can use it, like I'm thinking I'm going to use it in the winter under my hat when I listen to sometimes audios if I'm going for a long walk. But I've been using this for sleep meditations and sleep music to fall asleep, because my husband falls right asleep and I don't always. And so this has been so incredibly helpful. It has a little charger that you just plug it in, okay? And then it Bluetooths to my phone, and I can listen to meditations because I sometimes side sleep and then my earbuds don't fall out. So really, really helpful. I really love it. It does help me relax and calm down. It does help me separate my thoughts. And I found that this has been a hack that has worked really well for me. If you are interested, I can send you guys the link for that. Super awesome. And what can you change versus what can't you change? So what are aspects of your routine during the day, of your sleep schedule, of preparing for sleep can't you change? The fact that you're in a truck. The fact that you're a team driver right now. The fact that whatever it is, make a list. And then I want to challenge you, what are the things that you can change? We sometimes get so stuck in the things that we can't change because in a sense, it gives us control over the situation. I want you to step out and think about what are the things within my sleep cycle, within my routine, within what I'm doing that I can change. Now, side note, you may not want to change them for whatever reason. I know I'm going to be honest. There's things where it's like, well, I don't want to do that. But then I have to stop complaining that I'm either tired in the morning or this or that. So make a list, be honest, super helpful. I did this for myself, and I made a list of all the things I can change. One, it was a reality check to how much I have control over. But two, what I did was I picked 2 things off of that list to start to work on. And then once I did change them and they were a part of my new normal routine, I picked another 2. Because it can be really overwhelming when we just feel like everything is against us. But when we recognize that there are things that are within our control, that's when life really changes. So take that opportunity. Okay, so let me just go stop sharing. There we go. Awesome. So I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. I know this is kind of a non-traditional because I did like a PowerPoint today, but there was just so much information, and I'm a visual person and I wanted you to see some of the stuff I was talking about. That way, if you go back, you can screenshot those things and you can see those again. But tonight, your homework is to recognize what can't I change about my daily routine. Okay. And what can I change? I can change that I'm drinking coffee after noon. I can change that I'm eating like a bunch of food before I go to bed at night. I can change that my electronics, or that I can now start to listen to meditations, or that I should do more breathing during the day, or I need to get out and I need to walk around my truck more. I need to exercise more. I may not want to, but I can. And then recognize and give yourself some grace to the things that you can't change. This is not a poor me, but rather this is a reality of, okay, this is the way my life is right now. These are the things I don't have control over. I'm going to honor those, but I'm going to try to make it work. And how can I improve the situation? When we take ownership over ourselves, things change. And there's no difference than when we look at our sleep. Later this week, I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. I'm going to talk about the benefits of meditation and some additional breathing things. I'm also going to show you some stretches and exercises Thursday evening that you can do to help better prepare for sleep. So remember how I was talking about that teeth grinding and how it's connected to certain things within our body, muscles within our body. I'm going to show you some stretches that you can better do before bed to prepare for that, and a few other goodies along the way. So hopefully today's conversation will be a kickoff for our sleep week. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any suggestions, anything, drop it in the comment section. But most importantly, we want to support you so that you can feel better wherever you are. If you haven't yet, hop over to Mother Trucker Yoga's Facebook page, because I post videos. I try to be live Wednesdays and Friday every week, where I'm posting tips and tricks constantly. And many of the things are things that you have suggested, because if you're thinking about it, other drivers are as well. All right, my friends, until next time, have a safe and blessed day, and we will see you again soon. We can get this off. Here we go. All right, here we go. 3, 2,